Hey, you guys, and welcome to American Culture. You might hear my little bugaboo making noise, but it's because he wants to go outside. But his mommy has things to do, and I told him I would take him out there. He just has to settle down. With that being said, today is day two of me making myself a successful fashion designer within the next year. I know a lot of people might hear that and think that it's some type of a daunting task, but I have such belief in what God has provided with me to put together day after day that I know I'll be a success. You see, the thing is, I'm already 50% of the way there. I can either be the success or I can fail. And I've learned to not entertain goals I don't want to meet. And so the only way that I can fail is by not showing up. So let me just show up. And that's really the context of today's video. You see, I'm not going out there gung ho and showing you guys my drawings and making things all day long and doing all this other stuff because I understand that pivotally, first you need to get your mind right for the journey that you're about to go on because it's your thoughts that become things. And as I was thinking on that today, I realized that a lot of people will say that when I tell them I want to do this within a year, oh, Alicia, don't expect to become an overnight success. When in actuality, that's all everybody is. Think of it like this: one day at noon, your mother wasn't pregnant, but the next day at noon, she was. Talk about an overnight success. One day you weren't born, the next day you were. One day you weren't a college graduate, the next day you were. One day you weren't a homeowner, the next day you were. You see, the thing that a lot of people do, myself included, anytime that I've had some type of major goal before, was I always sat down and thought about how much time it was going to take me to get there. And eventually the gap got wider and wider, and I fell into it. And the more I fell into the gap, the more I needed accolades and approval to get me out of it. And of course, because I wasn't consistent, those things never came. And guess what? Year after year, I had these hopes, these dreams, and these desires that I never quite put the effort behind to make come to fruition. Well, you see, things have changed. I realized that we live in a microwave society, and for the most part, we like being able to push a button and have things delivered to us. Right now, I have a craving for pizza, and there's one in the freezer. You see, you guys, I didn't make the cheese or the pepperoni or the sauce or the bread or any of that stuff. 99% of the work for me to have pizza has already been done, and even I've done a substantial part. I've ordered it and put it in a place where it would be ready for me to simply put in the microwave and eat it. And that's the same viewpoint that I have on my goals and my dreams right now. I am 90% of the way there. You see, a lot of us, we might sit and make a goal and say that it's going to take 5 years, but you guys, 2019 was 5 years ago, and here you finally are. You've done the majority of the work. Even if you were to go out there and try to buy a house, it took you some time to have the career, the mindset to save the money, the credit score to actually get up and go look for a house again. I know it may seem as though there's no such thing as overnight success, but there is. Everything happens one day. And all of the work that you've done to get there has already been done. And so I stand here realizing that for me to be a fashion designer, I've done quite a bit of work to get here. I've worked on my drawing skills. I've worked on getting myself mentally ready. I've worked on getting out of the way of my lack mentality so that I can see the abundance and go out and buy the materials that I need. I've put myself in a position of gratitude. I have done 90% of the things that I need to do in order to be successful in this pursuit. So now all I have to do is start walking. And that's what this is. So day two was all about getting my mind right. Day one was all about me getting on board with the Lord, asking myself, well, what would Jesus do? If God had already showed him the outcome, he came here knowing what he had to do, and he just simply did it. If God has given you the outcome, if he's given you that dream of being a fashion designer, of making music and being a producer, of being an artist, of being a baker, of having your own child care firm, of owning a home, it's because in the ether of things, it's already been done. Give yourself credit for the things that you have already done in order to get there, and realize that that gap between you not having it and you having it is a lot smaller. When it's basically non-existent, there's no hole to fall into and just steps to make. And that's where I'm at right now. I have shrunk that gap between here I am and success being 5 years from now, it's down to nothingness. I am a walking, talking success every single day that I get up and I make a video about what I'm doing in my life. And so I have 363 days left, and I already feel like a success. You guys, it clicked in my head. It could come a lot sooner. It could come next month, because there are certain things, again, that I have visions for, that I know I'm going to do, Lord willing, if I'm still alive and able, that will put me in a great position for different opportunities to come. And now I'm ready for them. I'm ready for them like I've never been ready for them before. So I say all that to say this, you guys: everything is an overnight success, everything. And you've done the great majority of the work to already get to where you are. Start living in that mentality, because when we wake up and we start thinking, oh, it's going to take me a year, it doesn't really matter so much if you waste a day or two or 365. So yeah, shorten that gap so that you're not falling into a pit where you need other people's accolades to get out of it. Keep it so small that all you have to do is keep on walking, and every single day you reach some type of milestone of success. For me right now, it's 2 days consecutively holding on to the dream and the idea, and actually working towards me being a successful fashion designer. You have to decide what that is for you. But if we live in a microwave society, have that microwave mind that 90% of the work has already been done. I've even done a good chunk of my part, and now all I have to do is put it into the instrument, i.e., the mind, to push the button and get things going so that I can consume it and nourish myself with it later. I'm going to really nourish myself with this ability to create designs and do fashion. I still have to daydream a little bit about, am I going to have my own brand, or if I'm going to work with somebody, or who knows, maybe I'm going to have both. But again, time will tell, because my goal, my vision is firmly set on success and nothing else. Have a blessed day, you guys.